Oh, they're gonna fit. Tarp's just not gonna like it. It's a full bed. Welcome back, everybody. Today's video is about a project that we've been on for a little while now. If you want to go back and see what we've done up until this point in this project, I've got the links for the videos from prior to today in the description below. Go check them out and get caught up so you know what's going on. And we're back another day here. We got 2.5 inches of rain overnight. We really needed it because most of our area is in a state of drought of some sort. So it was good to get some water on the ground. However, it made a mess out of our site. Thankfully, the ground here is pretty sandy. We only ended up with a couple of puddles here and I think over there. We're not letting it slow us down too much though. We went ahead and got rid of them pillars that were there. They were stacked limestone blocks. We got them palletized because they want to save those blocks. Our task for the rest of the day here is going to be digging out the footers so that way we can get the concrete cutting guy back in here to cut the footers into sections. We could hammer those out, but it'd be really abusive to the structures that we want to save. So it's going to be best to cut them out and we can pull them out of the hole nice and gentle without ripping, pulling, tearing, that kind of thing. Concrete guy is supposed to be here in just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and go about getting things ready for him. This ain't nothing too hard. We just give it a little scrape, a little over the wall, a little down the other side. And dig this dirt out. And stack it up over here. Well, digging along here, we found some water lines all bunched together like this. I suspect they're probably irrigation. There's irrigation lines running all over this place. Probably watered all them bushes in the garden and stuff, but either way, they're in our way. They gotta go. We're just gonna cut them and see what happens. There's a bunch of little ones, and there's this big one. I'm not sure if the big one's drainage or water. All the water's supposed to be turned off. Supposed to be. Wow, that big one is water supply too, but it's not under pressure, I don't think. That should be taken care of. If that makes too much water, we'll have to get the pump out. Well, all that was for nothing because it turns out... Oh wait, maybe there is a footer there. No, I don't think there is. Bummer. Okay, yep, definitely no footer there. Well, it was important that we checked because I didn't want to find out otherwise when it was too late. We'll just clean this footer off and keep going here. This place is just riddled with underground utilities. Everywhere I go, everywhere I dig, there's a piece of drainage pipe, a piece of electric conduit, a piece of water line for something. It's not that big a deal because it's all got to go. It's not like we got to protect it, but it's just all the time something we got to work around. They got that first section of footer all cut up, so we're going to take the big machine down in there and see if we can break it free. It's not cut all the way, but getting the next size saw out, it's a lot of work. So we're just gonna see real quick and check and see if they've done enough. Fire up the old girl and get busy here. Kinda getting tight on this job site here. Gotta knock this pile of dirt down so we can sit on top of it. Just not enough room for this pile and me down in this hole here. All right, time to see what we got. That's not looking promising. It's wanting to move the whole footer. All right, we're gonna try pulling this little section of wall off here, and if we can get these to pop off the footer, it's not looking promising. If we could get these to pop off the footer, they could get their handsaw to cut a little deeper. Nah, it's not working. The whole thing is just moving. Okay. Well, I think they're gonna just have to set up a bigger saw and cut deeper, which is unfortunate, but probably the safer than sorry route to go here. I don't want to tear up the house by ripping the footer off of it. Well, the little saw didn't cut deep enough. We tried breaking it. It's time to go up to the big saw. This thing's gonna cut 22 inches deep. That'll be plenty to get all the way through both the footer and that little wall section we got left. Then we can safely pull this whole thing away from the house. Maybe then we'll flip it over and cut from the bottom. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And just like that, the cut is made. It took longer to set the saw up than it did to make the cut. Just the nature of the beast, I guess. So actually, I was wrong there, folks. They actually have to put on a second blade that's bigger so they can cut deeper to get that full depth of cut that we need. There's a chance we'll have to go up one more blade size to make the third cut in the same spot. But what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and break the footer first, because in theory, we should be through all the rebar and there should be just a little bit of concrete left at the bottom. See if we can break it. If it doesn't break, we'll put that biggest blade on, make it the last cut with that. All right, now watch that right-hand side up against the house. That's where we've got that cut made. I'm gonna pry on this a little bit. No, he said it ain't happening.
Now there's just no winning on this one, is there?
No, so we gotta do the big blade then?
That's all I can do. I got 2 more sizes bigger, that's all I got.
Okay.
So the next one up will cut 21 from the top of the footer.
Okay.
Down.
From the top of the footer, not the top of the wall.
Oh, sorry, the top of the wall.
Okay, okay.
Which would give us 15, which would leave us an inch if these are actually 16 inches.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try that.
All right.
We'll get a bigger blade set up and we'll cut again. Look at the size of that thing. That thing is surrounded by a perimeter of diamond aggregate, and that's what does the concrete cut. And that thing's got to cost a lot of money. Each blade has a different size shroud. That's what he's thrown in there. That way he's not throwing slurry everywhere. We're just gonna lower this into the hole for him here because it's way easier than carrying that thing around. I'm sure it isn't light. Alright, we'll get out of his way and let the man work. Look at that blade. Ooh, baby. Alright, we're gonna try it again. Just watch over there. That saw is gonna move, that saw mount, but hopefully we can separate from the last piece of concrete. Pull on this. Nope, still didn't go. Alrighty, well I think that means that cut within an inch of the bottom of the footer. So I think that means that the piece that is attached to the house is probably not pinned in there. It's not attached to the house strong enough to break off from when I pull on the big piece of footer. So I think we're gonna make a cut right here in the middle, right where my middle tooth is pointing. We'll make a cut there, and then we're gonna pull 1/2 this out at a time. I can fit 1/2 of that thing in the truck. It'll be 9 foot long, so it should fit no problem. And we'll go from there. All right, we got the saw rig off of there. We got our cut made. It's time to pop this thing out of here. It better break. I'll be very disappointed. Oh, it's still not breaking. What is going on? Let me try picking it up closer to where the cut is made. Put more force directly on that cut. Yeah, okay, it's breaking now. Okay. Thank goodness. Man, there must be still a piece of rebar hanging on though. 'Cause it's not coming out easy. There we go. There we go. Oh, and there must have been a natural cold joint there or something. What a annoying... Whatever. I'm just glad it's coming out now. Thank goodness. See if we can get these pieces set up where we can reach them from the top. Really don't want to drop this because if it falls in that mud, it'll make the splash of death. I don't mind wrestling with them a little bit. I just want to get them away from the house first. Think they had big enough footers? Oh, the rebar is on the bottom. That explains a lot. That explains a lot. That's why the saw couldn't reach it when it was making the cuts. I'm gonna try the good old bend them until they break trick. Whoopsie, tipsy tipsy. Can't get untypified. Come on. Let go. Get myself a better position here. Oh man, I still got splashed. Oh, just a little bit though, thankfully. We are losing the rebar one by one here. We're slowly winning that battle. There we go. I think we're down to one. Come on. You know you want to let go. There we go. Alright, I'm going to set this big old bad boy up on the high wall here. That way when I get up there, I can load it into the truck. Boy, oh boy, these footers are way tougher to get out than those wall sections were. We spent an entire day on this one alone. I think we kind of got a plan figured out now, and things will go faster in the future. We'll see here. It's now time to see how these things are going to fit in the truck. Don't think it's going to go super well. I think we're going to be better off just taking only a couple pieces at a time, taking a lot of light loads. I think I want to flip this one over. If I can get it to stay like that, it'd actually ride like that in the truck best. Because I can probably put two of them in then. Let's pick it up and give it a try here. This machine handles it, but it's a lot of weight. This poor little light duty truck just isn't really made for this kind of abuse. So I'm just trying to be extra tender and extra careful. Just make things as gentle as can be. Okay, we're just touching the other side of the truck there with the bucket. See, if I put it all over here, I don't think I'll be able to get another one in there. Oh man, if that thing falls over on the side, that side is cooked. It's just not made for this kind of work. Let's see what we got left for room in here. Yeah, I think we can fit another one in here. We just gotta get it in here and still have enough room to get the bucket out. Let's try this piece next. Try to put the biggest ones in first and then put the small ones around it. Like to get this one turned up like so. I want to grab it with just the tips of the thumb and the bucket. Might seem less secure that way, and it probably is, but it gives me more room to get the bucket out. past the edges of things without, oh boy, way less secure. Gives me more room to get stuff out of the way without hitting truck sides. There we go, she's on there. That's still a big old piece. How we looking there? Off the bedside with the bucket? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna back up here. Oh man. Try to get a little better angle on things. So that way the bucket's not trying to hit the bedside. Alright, that's as far as the hoe wants to reach. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start to let go of it. All right, we did it. Let's go take a look at that. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Might even be able to throw some small chunks in over here. I got one more small piece of footer. We're gonna try and sneak it into this area up front. We'll see how that goes. All right, this one doesn't feel like much compared to those last two. I think I can sneak this in beside. Like, could I sneak this in like right here? Okay, I want to put something over there to keep that thing from flopping over onto the bedside. All right, now I just gotta get the excavator out of there. Voila! Very good. I like it. Well, here we are. Here's our load. Do some smaller pieces in on this side. I just don't want this piece or this piece to fall over towards that bedside because it would probably wipe it out since it's got so far to fall before it hits it. Our big piece here, there's not much I can do about it. The heavy sides are towards the center, so they're unlikely to fall out. We'll just take it slow, drive safe, make our corners slow. All the things you're supposed to be doing in a big truck anyway. All right, let's see how this load rides. You guys let me know if something's falling over. I'll stop and rearrange it. Here's a big turn. How are we handling them bumps back there? We're at the yard where we're dumping now, and this will probably be the bumpiest part of our journey. I'm only 100 yards from the dump site, but it would be a real shame if something fell over now.
Why would you say that?
Well, it turns out they want these dumped somewhere else, and because they're so difficult to deal with, they're gonna charge me a little extra for them, which is okay. It's not the end of the world. A little disappointing, but that's how it goes. We're gonna drive over to another spot and dump them there. Well, that was hard on things. I don't think we bent anything or tore anything up too bad, so at least we survived. But man, this truck doesn't like that. It is what it is, I guess. So since the cuts in the other portion of the footer to our right, where we dug that out, didn't really come out well, and the cuts weren't all the way through, and the rebar's at the bottom, we made a little more effort to make these cuts over here go all the way through. So I'm hoping this will come out of here better, especially because the part on the left there we go, they're coming apart. Very good. We're saving this part of the wall that's to my left. I didn't want to go ripping and tearing and break something out of there. Ooh, gotta be careful, don't drop that and splash something. Okay, well, very good. I'm glad to see that. It's a big win. Just gotta rustle these things out of here now. Man, they're not getting any smaller. Yeah, that's all the machine wants to do. Lay it down nice there. That came out of there way nicer than the last stuff did. Very thankful for that. Ooh, slippy, slippy. Let's set it down right here and get a better bite. There we go. I like that better. There we go. Perfect. Even rolled away from us. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and load these things up here real quick, and then we will go about digging out the other portions of the footer so that the cut guys can cut it. Just lay this in here nice and gentle. Go. Now that we got all the footer sections out from over there, we don't need any machine access into this point, and so we can dig out the little ramp that we had built here, because there's some footers under this ramp that need to be cleaned off so they can cut them. I'm going to try and put as much of the dirt over there because I don't have room for it up where I'm sitting. It won't take very long at all, this big machine. Very thankful to have it. Oh! Some buried caution tape. That's always fun. Typically, buried caution tape is used to mark utilities, but there aren't any utilities that are getting saved in this area. Even if it is utility, I'm not worried, but I suspect it was probably tape that used to be around our excavation that got lost in the dirt. Well, we got everything all dug out. There's one giant footer that goes across here to where this wall used to be here. There's also a big giant footer here where those stairs were. So we're gonna run a cut across there, cut over there at the wall, a cut here, and then another cut there. And so we should have 3 11-foot pieces and then a giant piece that's under the stair. I don't really know how big that piece from under the stairs is gonna be. We're just gonna cut it off and I'll dig it the rest of the way out, and we gotta figure out how to deal with it from there. It's been raining for the last hour and everything is a sloppy, nasty mess. And Kevin, dude, is a hard-working dude. He hasn't stopped for a minute. It's really important we get these all cut today, and we're coming down to the wire. He's got that cut, and then one more cut over here. I just really appreciate the amount of effort he's putting into getting it done today. I really do. Well, the concrete cutting guys are almost done. They're wrapping up here. They got all the cuts made down there for us. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see if this thing will pop those pieces out. These are the longest pieces we've had to deal with so far. I think they'll come out just fine. They're not quite as thick. Who knows? Nothing's been the way I thought it would be on this job so far. This is gonna be interesting. These are also all the way down. These are a bit farther away from me than the last ones were. Oh, easy peasy. I might have said that too soon. It's kind of wedged in there between the two cuts. There we go. It ain't wedged no more. Uh-oh. There we go, we got it. There it is. Okay, let's throw this thing in the truck. I really want to pick it up like this because it's easier to set into the truck bed nice and gentle. Oh, I don't even want it. Wow. It's a lot of weight. I don't know if it's gonna fit. We cut them to fit. Kind of looks like it's gonna be too big. Man, this machine is just about all it wants to do to lift these things. Flip that thing up if you can. Flip that tarp up. Oh, they're gonna fit. Tarp's just not gonna like it. It's a full bed. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Wow, that was hard on things. Let's see if we can get another one in there. This one should be the smallest of the remaining pieces that I have. So I'm hoping it will work well in combination with that last piece. Everything's so slippery, I just keep pulling the excavator towards the hole. There we go. I don't think this one's any lighter than the other one. I think I got that wrong. This machine is having a hard time getting them high enough. The higher the machine lifts, the less the lifting capacity is. And it's really showing here. It won't go? It's just barely not fitting inside the tailgate. I'm gonna let it down gentle. See, no, it's, oh, there it goes. Oh boy. Well, it's a little tight in here. We're tight up against the front of the bed, and we're pretty much just wedged up here right against the tailgate. It's in contact on just this corner, so I'm gonna try pushing it this way and see if that'll relieve a little pressure. That way we can get the tailgate down when we get to the dump site. We'll just give it a little nudge. He says he sees daylight. That's all we need. An inch is as good as a mile. Yeah, there's clearance there, but it might be more like 1/8 of an inch is as good as a mile. One of the concrete cutting guys does welding on the side, and he just came up to me and said, "You guys look like you break a lot of stuff. Here's my number." That kind of hurt my pride a little bit. I mean, it's justified. I just dropped that last piece in there from a couple inches up, and it just shook the whole truck real hard. So I guess that's fair, but just hurt my heart, you know? Well, we're back to get the next load. Thankfully, that last load did not destroy the bed. I was really afraid because I dropped that one in there that it destroyed things, and I don't think it hurt anything. So very thankful for that. We're gonna go ahead and try to pry this big old piece out of here. This piece is the footer that was under the stairs, and I don't really know how big it is yet. Oh, it might not be as big as I thought. Haha, that's its own blessing. I was afraid this thing was gonna be like a 10 by 10 square or something. Oh yeah, let's get this thing up out of here and we'll measure it, but I'm pretty sure it'll fit no problem. Well, it's there. At the widest here, we're looking like 54 inches, so 4.5 feet. And then in length, let's see here, 10 foot. All right, so that's really about the size of the other pieces we got down in there. So we're just gonna toss this thing in. I might put this one on top because it's a little funnier shaped. I don't know. I guess the other one's funny shaped too. We'll throw this one in, we'll throw the other one on top of it, and we'll dump them. Well, folks, the hole is empty and the truck is full. It's in fact very full. It's got just as much concrete as the last load, plus the last little like 4 or 5 by 4 or 5 chunk that we were able to just slip in on the side. As you can see right there, we'll see how it dumps. Ooh, that was probably the hardest one we've had so far. But that's okay, it's all done. We don't have to haul any more big abusive stuff, and so I'm glad for that. I'm glad we got this far without tearing things up. I'm just really glad and thankful that everything's gone as smoothly as it has. That does wrap up this part of the job for us. We've got lots more work to do here. Got a little more demo than some other stuff. If you want to make sure you catch it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I think it'll be well worth it. This is a big project. It's gonna be cool. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.